in a book, in the internet, or trying to do a training about this thematic.
I think that mindset is changing to respond your question. I see in the students learn much time by himself and consult the teachers to explain something in that content to for example, this is the best way. I think that mindset is always changing every day in our students and in the future. I want to be one natural thing the people search for new things.
But I had to add one more thing. If we want that digital transformation is really effective at schools, we need a mindset, a change of mindset, not only for teachers, for school administrators, for politicians, for parents, and also for most of the students. Because they are used to have a teacher talking and they are used to a certain way of teaching and to being at school. They listen and then they decorate I don't know how to say in English, memorize some contents, and they do the exams, and it works. When you change the way of doing things, like we have been talking here, some students, the good students in a traditional way, many times doesn't like, because you are putting them in an uncomfortable zone. So I think we have to change also, to help students to change the mindset also. Not only, all the society have to change the mindset. And parents also. Parents many times put barriers to this kind of work that teachers want to do. But I think if we explain to parents what is the purpose, why we are doing this kind of work, we will have friends and not enemies.
Friends, another word, thank you. So thank you, Domenica. Marcia.
Talking about the educational system, I saw two lines of approach here. One is highly motivational for students, robotics, because they learn by themselves, they are creative in the process. And there's another approach which is introducing digital tools like tablets and other stuff. Even though you said that teachers learn how to use those tools, most of the times, or many times, students, we are talking about Gen Z, which is born digital and mobile ready, etc. They know how to do everything. So most of the times they know how to use the tablets better than the teacher. This provides a huge human challenge for the teachers. Because if the person standing in front of you knows less than you, you lose respect and you lose motivation. This is a huge challenge, isn't it?
I don't see things in this way. Because the technologies are tools, and it's not guaranteed that students can know more about scientific contents than the teachers. And I think that it is a different scenario. Now we have different scenarios. Other times, professor has in the hand or in the books all the knowledge. Now they have to know that they don't have all the knowledge. The students can search and to learn about a thematic that teacher doesn't know. He doesn't have to know everything. So, what is the problem to say to the students, I don't know, let's search together, let's try to learn more about this together. I think this is the mindset that I was talking about. There is no problem to say, I don't know. Let's learn together about this. And I don't know all the things about the tablet. If you know more, please explain me and explain to your colleague. There is no problem. We have to have humble to work in these different scenarios. We have to be humble and to recognize that we don't know everything. Nobody knows. And we can exchange. We can exchange what we know better and what we can do better together.
Can I add something just to what Elsa was telling? I was a teacher in the university in the 90s, and in my classes then, with no technology, I said to my students, I don't know everything, so we will learn together. And if you ask me something and I don't know the answer, we go home, and this was the beginning of internet, okay, no Google, nothing. We go home and we try to search for an answer. And in the next class, I will discuss with you what I've learned, and you will tell me what you've learned too. And I think this is an approach that puts the teacher and the student almost at the same level. Of course, the teacher must have more scientific skills than the student, of course, but the level must be almost the same, and that's the advantage of using technology but as you told, students, parents, teachers, we all have to change our mindset.
And sorry, and if you say to students, at this moment I don't know this, but tomorrow we can discuss, students will respect you more than if you try to figure out that you know and you don't, and they understand that you don't know. It's not a good thing to do. You are trying to how to say, to enganar.
Yeah, to share. Yeah. You are trying, like, you're part of a collaborative way of learning. And respect, like when we're talking about soft skills, respect is something basic. It's not tech. Technology is not going to teach you respect. You need to have respect before technology comes in. So, but the way of teaching in a collaborative basis, like Elsa was saying, it's much more efficient. Okay. Than having the teacher as the person who knows it all. Okay. And here I come, knowing, this thing I know better than him or than her, and it doesn't work like that. If it's in a collaboration, we're all here to learn something, okay? So, and that's one of the things that, one of the challenges as well of the digital transformation is actually the different levels that you find adults and children already in some things more progressive, and in others not. So one of the European Commission fundamental message for the digital transition is actually don't leave anyone behind. And not leaving anyone behind is actually working in a collaborative manner so that one doesn't miss out on the other. And respecting that and having this way of, if you have a skill, if you have a knowledge, you're there to share it. You're not there to tell the others to do it this way because you learn it that way. You share it and you're learning. You're having a learning experience, not a taughting experience.
Let me stand.
You're not going to get a chance.
I'm sorry. If you create learning scenarios with project methodology, you open space for uncertainty, and the probability that something happens that the teacher doesn't know, it's big.
Finally.
I will
Sorry.
talk. I will talk with some experience because we have in the first year of applying the process of tablets and digital books in our schools. And that questions many teachers tell us, but the answer the teachers past some time working with the students is not a problem. And what we see is an approaching of the teacher with the students, and because the teachers ask the students when they don't know about the technology. For example, we have a testimonial of one teacher. We asked what was the most difficult in the classes with this new approach, and the answer was my principal difficulty is to watch all the time the students, because when we don't have this, I pass much of the time to writing in the board, and they see the students with the dark, and this process brings a new approach with the teachers and students, and is changing the way of their work. But all of this we must to change the mindset, we must to change the way. I think this is a normal transition in this whole process, and step by step we go to the perfect point.
Okay, so I think, I don't know if there's someone, we have only time for one question, I'm sorry.
Oh, can I? So, it's not a question but an observation. I can support this. So I'm the program director of the design course here in the university. My colleague here, Valentina Bezzani, and she's I think coordinating this project for the university here. So I think this is we have so much to say about this because this is our work. So we face this issue on a daily basis. Yes, how the transition to digital technologies is impacting the way we teach our students. So I passed through the Asian system, Anglo-Saxon, and the European education system. So there are differences there of culture, which our colleague said very, very nicely. I think she put it so nicely, because you can't change the culture. But for instance, in the Asian culture, the teacher will tell you what to do, okay, but they will not tell you how to do it. All right. In the Anglo-Saxon, maybe the emphasis is more on the why. Why are we doing what we are doing, okay? But here when I come to Portugal, I see the emphasis on what is very important, but also what is correct and what is not correct. So if we don't tell our students, and because it's a design course, it's very applied learning, okay, project-based learning. Most of the I'm not mistaken, most of our carreras, if the students don't know what is expected at the end, they get very nervous, okay? Now, after the pandemic, when we moved to online teaching, I realized that certain traditional carreras, disciplines, don't translate well to digital technologies. For instance, I teach design drawing, product design drawing, industrial design drawing. It's very studio-based subject, so you need to come with the drawing tools, do the studio, paper, markers, copics, tablets, everything. And by the way, I don't agree that Gen Z knows technology better than the teacher. No, there's a difference there, okay? I'll come to that in a bit. So, when we transition to Zoom, we realize that we have to fundamentally re-encapsulate the way these disciplines are taught. How do you teach design, drawing, completely through Zoom? So there's no physical interaction, okay? So we realize that the university pedagogic system, the evaluation models also don't permit this transition. We have fundamentally changed, remodeled a lot of disciplines for digital teaching, okay? Now that we are back to presential teaching, those transitions are null and void. We are forced to go back to the old normal, which doesn't work anymore, okay? Now I realize that going back to the studio is not sufficient teaching drawing as it was online, all right? The students, I used to tell them, guys, you are Gen Z, you should know technology better than me, but they did not know. What they know is how to use social media. kids very fast because they love to embrace digital technology. Now, so we have to make this distinction between computational teaching and classical teaching. Okay, what is the strength of computational classical generation like myself who have book-based teaching, learning, right? We can focus very well. Our Gen Z students, they can't focus. Some of my students are here. I don't know if they are. They don't have the capacity to look at a teacher and engage in a verbal dialogue, receive instructions that we transmit through Zoom, and they forget. Okay, so they come back next week with completely wrong work. Okay, they are not used to listening. The observation and listening skills are very weak in Gen Z. But I see, if I write it as an Instagram post, they remember. So I started teaching on Instagram. Yes, that's true. This is a data I received from my teachers in other universities. When you have assignments, send it as a direct message to the class on Instagram, and I guarantee you will get it correct. And it works. Yes. So I said to them, why is it that you can listen to the same words and ignore them, but I write the same words on Instagram and they get it correct? They said that it's just a generational thing.
Em relação ao tudo isso?
Só para fecharmos. This means the university pedagogy needs to adapt to that. So then the question is, if they have access to all computational tools, Wikipedia, what is the role of the teacher? Okay, I teach design theory as well, design history, design process. Every information is on the internet. So the students ask me, well, I do some invited teaching in Porto as well, and there I was asked this question, if everything is on the internet, what are you here for? Okay? And I said that, look, that's a very good question, it's intelligent. The internet knowledge is vast, it's unlimited. If you spend 100 years reading, you will not finish it. What is the role of the teacher? Insights. We connect the dots. We tell you what to read and when to read it and what's the importance of that knowledge. And I think that is the computational university, that's the computational professor of the future. We know what is important and what is not. We separate the music from the noise. Yeah? The current generation has all the noise. They are very, very distracted, with all due respect. Okay? But I think, yes, but this was my observation too. I realized I was talking to my colleague and he was like, oh, we have so much talking to do the entire day.
Thank you. This was like a podcast for me because I wasn't seeing your face, but there you go. Perfect voice, perfect knowledge. So thank you. This was like a keynote moment inside of our conversation. So this was perfect. Thank you. So we are actually in the end of the conversation, and I would like to ask for your final remarks about the conversation that we had this morning. So to finalize, like keywords, challenges, trends, something that you want to just leave them with a mic drop.
Keywords. My first keyword is love.
It's beautiful.
We must have to put love into our work. I think the challenge I like that idea to separate the noise from the music and to bring the best for our students and with that to prepare for the challenge. Challenge, we don't know what is, but that's our function, that's our work.
Thank you.
So first of all, I want to say that Luís was a kind of student of me, and I'm very happy that he learned that it's important to put love in all the things. And I want to say that from several years that I'm defending school transformation, and we can use digital transformation to do this transformation that I'm calling since a long time ago. But it's not only technologies. Technologies is the way to do things. Methodology is very important. Respect, happiness, all these things must have in the classroom in this transformation.
Thank you. So I liked all that idea of a teacher as a human filter, almost, of information. But the main thing is to guide the students in what they need to know and to focus on, because there is a lot of information, and more digital transition. There will be more information, and will be too much if you're not guided and oriented to see what's good and what you need to focus on and what you don't need to focus on. So as the last words, we're talking about going back and the fear of going back now that the children and the students are already into the online learning online and getting Wikipedia and getting all this information at the touch of a button. But what I believe is that we cannot go back. I think life is to go forward. So it's like slingshot. Even if it looks like we're going to be pulling a little bit back, it's because we're going to forward even more. And digital transition, it's exactly what we have to do, forward. Thank you.
So thank you. Now to wrap up this session of this morning, Andreia.
Well, we would like to thank this awesome roundtable for their insights and our guests for this morning. And we would like to invite you to the afternoon, because we'll have another awesome talks with other guests. We'll start at the 14:45. But before you go, Startup Madeira would like to invite you all tomorrow for an event that we're having with Amazon Web Services. It will happen tomorrow at 10:30 at Museu da Casa de Luz. It will be an event about the cloud, innovation and competitiveness in public sector and enterprises. So hope all of you enjoyed this morning. In the afternoon we'll have much more. Thank you all. See you later.